This is gnarly.
We're back with the next part of the Humvee build. It's another windy, rainy day here in Florida. We're getting into that season. And today we're gonna start by installing the windshield on the Humvee and show you guys the steps it takes to install these windshields. All right, we got the windshield all unpackaged. We're going to wash it down with a dish soap and water solution so that way the gasket can ease on a little bit easier. And then we're gonna take it over to the front of the windshield frame and show you guys how to install it. All right, so you gotta get the bottom in first because this is actually a channel. And once the bottom is set down in, you just simply push the glass up against the rest of the window frame, and then you're gonna put this retainer on the outside trim and it bolts on and keeps everything in place. All right, so we just got it in between the channels and you have to kind of bang it down softly into this channel, and then we smush it up against flush with this window frame.
And then this goes on.
And what size bolts is it for this thread?
It's 10 by 32.
So 10 by 32 bolt. We like to use stainless steel Phillips head bolts. I just got done putting these door limiting straps on while Dakota's been working on the hubs. Tell us what you're doing here.
So I'm taking this this cover off the back of the hub, and that will allow me to see the spindle nut that is holding on this whole spindle assembly. This is important maintenance when you're working on one of these Humvees. This should probably be checked like once a year because the spindle nut is the only thing that's holding on your tire. So you want to make sure that the torque is set properly and it didn't back off, and the locking tabs are set properly as well. So that's what we're doing. That's what we do on every single truck before we send them out as well.
Yeah, so basically if you have one of these spindle nuts that isn't tightened correctly, or maybe the locking tab broke off, as Dakota said, that's the only thing holding your wheel on. So you could be driving and your wheel could all of a sudden fall off, which has happened to multiple people. This one, just from the looks of the outside, looks like it might be okay because there's no gear oil leaking, but we still take every precaution and just remove the whole entire assembly so that way we can check it.
It's normal maintenance too, so it should be done, like I said, maybe once a year.
Yeah, and for instance, what happened to Dakota on one of his trucks, he actually has a newer model, it's a 2011.
Yep.
And he was driving down the road multiple times with his truck, and he decided to do the maintenance on his, found out that his actual hub nut was hand loose. So
yep.
Super important thing to always do with all of these Humvees.
There we go. So you can see the two locking tabs right there on the spindle nut. And what you're looking for when you inspect these is play. So this does not turn at all. Doesn't wiggle. And the locking tabs look good on there.
Perfect. So what's the next step? Are we gonna, do you still remove it and put new locking tab on, or everything looks good enough to stay?
If the tabs look good and there's no wiggle, and there's also no leaking on any of the seals, I would just throw this back together, reseal this cover, and just fill it back up with new gear oil.
Perfect.
But if it has the older style tabs, or if it looks bad, I would definitely just put on a brand new spindle nut assembly on there. but this one's all good.
And that's how simple it is to save you from a catastrophic failure going down the road.
Yep.
Just pull this tire off, pull the few nuts out, pull the cover back, and inspect the nut in the locking tab. All right, so we just put some of this sealant on here. This stuff is awesome gasket maker. It's kind of expensive, but spread it around, seal it up. All right, so we're getting ready to put the curtain backing plate on. This kind of will weatherproof any water from getting under the curtain and into the interior. So Dakota's gonna line it up. He's gonna mark the holes, drill them out, and we're gonna actually rivet these in. All right, so we got all the holes drilled out. We're gonna clean this up, lay down a bead of silicone, and then we're gonna go ahead and put it right back on and rivet it down. All right, we got the silicone underneath, and now we are fastening it all down with rivets. So we just put some silicone on the other side of this, bolted it on, and this is aluminum that bolts onto the fiberglass, and we actually utilize the aluminum to hold the AC condenser onto the back of this whole entire Humvee. All right, so we're putting the AC condenser on these trucks. This is why these military vehicles that utilize this specific AC system have such good AC quality. The condenser is ginormous, and it's got two huge fans on it, and it's really away from any heat source like the engine. So it's got, you know, all the capacity and cooling ability possible to make sure your AC is cold. All right, so we just installed the blower fan unit. This has a condenser built into it. It's going to have two runners to the front, and then it's got these back vents for the, the back riding passengers. But this thing is actually really strong. It works really well. It's got its own, it's kind of like an ECU. It tells you, if there's any troubleshooting that needs to be diagnosed. It has a description here, and based off of how many flashing green or red lights it'll tell you the diagnostic. So pretty cool unit. And now we're gonna get the lines made for it and show you how we run them to the engine, under the car, and to the AC compressor. Do a kick flip. Sidetracking from the AC system right now. We still actually have to order the hoses and fittings. We don't have them right now. We're gonna go ahead and start installing these Extreme Tactical Dynamic lights. These are a flashing light. They flash red and blue, and they have, I think they have like 30 different combinations of red and blue flashing. And we'll show you where we install these onto the Humvee. We got the placement of the security lights in. And these things at night are pretty legit. They're just like regular police department lights. They are so bright. Obviously, we wouldn't ever use these on a regular road or anything like that. This vehicle is going to be primarily used on a farm. but these will be perfect for out there. You will not miss it when these things are on. All right, so I'm making the stenciling for the security lettering paint on here. We use a aluminum metallic. We found that this color actually kind of pops a lot better off of the black. And you do get a little bit of overspray under the letters, but it just gives it more of a kind of a military off-road look rather than super sharp lines that some stenciling will give you. But yeah, let's get to it. We got it all ready. This is so overspray doesn't get on it. And gonna start spraying. All right, so we got the stenciling done. I hope I spelt it right. These are the light bars we used for this vehicle. We went with the Hella LED bars. These things give optimal lighting. They look nice. And we also noticed that they seem to be a bit more waterproof than other light bars that are on the market. Sometimes they get a little foggy behind the glass on some of these light bars, but we haven't noticed that yet with these. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and install these in the same fashion that they're displayed here, right on top. We got the top officially secured. We put these brackets on with some rib nuts on the other side. You had to drill those holes out yourself to do that. Boosted, boys. And then we bolted down the rear curtain as well as the top back here. So everything is sturdy and it's in. All right, so we're moving on to the headlight install. We get our parts from Federal Military Parts. They provide a LED light that is the exact size that fits the housings, as well as an adapter, since we're going from a standard, like a standard headlight to an LED light. And these look really good with this type of truck that we're building, the all black. We also have painted the outside rim and they're just drying right now, but we'll show you these installed in just a moment. These things came out looking great. Sometimes we paint these green, but I think the black really makes this one a little bit more pronounced. All right, so we're gonna start installing the spotlight. We ordered a 6-inch LED spotlight. This is from Unity. And this is the same brand that you're gonna see on most police vehicles. They use this same brand on most of all squad cars made. And you're gonna see how we mount this jig up and install it through the windshield frame.
Just eats me. Chill.
Alright, so we got the spotlight installed. Works really good. Full range of motion. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this episode on the Humvee build. In the next couple parts, we are going to be doing a little bit of wiring, some AC lines, probably some more maintenance, just a lot of odds and ends, and get this thing pretty much ready to be shipped off. So if you like seeing this type of content, you want to see more of the Z build and more military stuff, just give us a like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.